So like last year, I wrote this guide, and the guide is very simple. It's 6 steps to get what you want out of life and how to do it. Now there's a bonus step at the end, which I will share with you, but I wanted to share this guide with you in a video format. If you want to skip this video and you just want to download it yourself, I'll put a link below. Now the 6 steps to get whatever you want, this is something that I compiled after I achieved what I wanted to achieve. And our wants were very, very simple. Our vision was very simple. We wanted to get into a place in our lives where we could travel full time and live off the cash flowing assets of our investments. And we did that. And the reason why we wanted to do that was because we wanted to spend more time with each other. We wanted to spend more time having adventures. We wanted to spend time with our fast growing weed of a son, Chase Cardinelli. He's now almost 6 years old. And I came up with this guide, I think it was 2 years ago when I finally wrote it down, but I came up with this idea probably 5 years ago, right after he was born, because I was going through a time in my life where I didn't have a lot of direction and we wanted to mix it up. We wanted to change things up and we wanted to chase some of our dreams. So I wanted to just kind of quickly highlight what this guide's about and some of the lessons that I've learned from using this exact guide. I've done it multiple times and it just seems like it always works. Now, step 1. You got to determine and decide on your wants. And you got to decide, most importantly, on what you don't want and why you want the thing you want. Now, I used to say things like, especially around the New Year's, I want a 6-pack abs. That's so easy to say, but I never put a plan in place. I never set a deadline where I was gonna have those rock hard 6-pack sexy abs. So when it came to January 15th, which is I believe National Quitting Day, it was easy to give up on because I didn't really want that. It just sounded good. So when you sit down to write down what you actually want out of life, take some time, put your cell phone away, and find a quiet place where you can really truly think on what you wanted out of life. And the way I did that was I took a pen and piece of paper. I like to use legal pads. And I just started jotting down the things that I thought I wanted. And I didn't limit myself to how small or how large that dream or want could be. But once I determined, the 3 key factors of what I really wanted, I wanted to spend more time with my family. I wanted to invest in my future. So if anything bad happens to me or my wife, we would be taken care of financially by investing in self-storage, real estate, that kind of thing. But also, I wanted to sit down and write down what I did not want anymore. I spent 10 years of my life serving as a deputy sheriff in beautiful California. And the great thing about that was it checked all my boxes before I had a family, before I had kids, before I wanted to really chase down my dreams and wants in this life. Now, what I miss that very first year of my son being born was I miss birthdays, I miss Christmas, I miss Thanksgivings, I miss many holidays and celebrations. And I saw that I was never going to get those memories or those holidays back, continuing down the road that I was continuing. So it was simple. As I was writing down my wants, I also wrote down my don't wants. I don't want to miss those memories because I was missing a lot of those memories. Now, probably the biggest one, and this is the driving factor, why? Why? Write down your why for your wants and don't wants. This is something that is quite challenging, and I'll give you an example of my why at the time. I wanted to be financially free, chase adventure, and spend as much time as I can with my family. And I don't want to sacrifice my time with my family for a job that would not protect me. And the why was I didn't know how long I was going to have to live. Now, I'm almost 37 years old. My father died at 37 years old, and that was something very sour in the back of my head. It was just a sour taste that I had, that I wanted to spend, my son's youth being there for his first step, being there to teach him how to ride his bike, being there when we travel to Southeast Asia or go live in Mexico. That was my why. My why was my son, and to spend as much time as I could with him in case something were to happen to me. Once you determine your wants, your don't wants, and your why, you've got to find someone that's already done it. Now, I'll give you an example. When I train for ultra marathons, I typically choose a path that's already been run, okay? I don't just go, I'm going to run 100 miles and make up my own training plan, all right? I find someone that's like me in a like-minded situation, and I found a training program to actually follow. Someone had already done it and they were successful at it. So I'm going to follow that training plan. Well, in life, when you want to chase down your wants, there is someone, I guarantee you out there, that has done what you want to do. It's just about a matter about finding that particular person. A couple ways to find those people are simply in books, YouTube, podcasts. They might be your neighbor. I don't know. But they are out there, and they're more than willing to give you the free information and the free step-to-step, step-by-step guide on how they got to where they wanted to go. Now, step 3, define the date of your want. Define when you're going to accomplish this goal. I've done this a couple times in my life. The first time was when we sold everything in California and moved to Georgia. We put a date on it, I believe it was April 15th, that we were gone. We were out of there. We were going to sell our house, sell everything that we had, drive across the country, and move to Georgia. And that's what we did. Now, a couple years ago, when we decided to rent out all of our properties, we set a date. I believe it was January 15th. I don't know what's up with the middle of the month, but that's what we did. We said, hey, we're going to rent out our main residence on January 15th. We're going to hop in the truck. We're going to road trip across the United States, where I ran a marathon in Death Valley. By January 5th, we did not have a renter for our main residence. And I looked at my wife and I go, listen, this is our plan. We're going to do it. No matter if we have a renter in here or not, we're going on January 15th. And sure enough, on January 12th, we had someone lined up to move in on January 15th. It was pretty incredible how the universe works, or God works. It kind of fills in the blanks, especially if you have that timeline. So I really think this is probably one of the most important steps, is you put a date on when you're going to accomplish your want. Now, step 4 is kind of scary, because before we sold everything in California and moved to Georgia, I told everyone what we were doing, and 99% of them told me I was wrong, I was going to fail, and I would come back to California, beg for my job back, and be broke. When you think that most people are going to be energized for you leaving, you chasing down your dream, it's very discouraging, and it puts a lot of false hope. So this is my suggestion to you. Tell 3 people. Tell 3 people who you trust, who are going to be on your side. The people who believe in whatever you're going to do. They're going to be your number 1 fans. Okay? Tell those 3 people so that they will support you in that journey no matter what. These 3 people also are going to keep you accountable. Accountable of what you're going to chase down. Step 5. Once you've written down your wants, don't wants, and why, I need you to read it once or twice a day. I like to read it in the morning when I wake up, and I like to read it before I go to bed. This, for some reason, when I read it daily, subconsciously, it's in my mind. And for whatever reason, if I keep something top of mind, it magically happens. It just does. I don't know if it's fucking magic. I don't know if it's God or energy or what, but it's worked every single time I do this. Now, step 6. Step 6 is one of these steps that's just like a no-brainer, and it's to get to work. You gotta work on this stuff. If you truly want to sell everything and move to Georgia and invest in real estate, you've got to get to work. I had to prepare the house for sale. I had to sell everything. We had to come up with an exit plan for California, and that's what we did. Now, in order to get into investing in Georgia or the South, where we like to invest in, I had to start learning. So I had to get to work on the education side. I started listening to podcasts, reading books, and coming up with a game plan on how we're going to educate ourselves so we can make informed decisions about the investments that we wanted to make. So don't get this step wrong. You have to do the work, and you can't stop doing the work until you achieve your want. Now, the bonus step. The bonus step where you stuck around the entire video, thank you, I appreciate it. It is not to subscribe and leave a comment or give me a thumbs up. Now, if you want to do those things, that would be awesome. Okay, I would greatly appreciate it if you did subscribe. Now, the bonus step, don't ever quit. If this is something that you truly want, something that you truly desire, something that is just burning inside your soul to accomplish, that's going to change your life, do not quit. It is going to be a roller coaster of a ride. When I set out for these my wants, it took twice as long and it took twice as much pain to get it done. It just did, but I didn't quit. And that's probably one of those things that is the easiest thing to do, is to go, listen, that was dumb. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. It's just not my destiny. Well, I tell you what, that's bullshit. Because if you want to go to the moon, if you want to start if you want to be the president of the United States, you can do it. You just can't quit, and you got to be willing to do the work. I just wanted to explain that. I know I promised daily vlogs. Well, today is not a vlog-worthy day. Tomorrow, I promise, will be. But if these 6 or 7 steps help you get what you want out of life, I promise you, when you're laying on your deathbed, you will not regret chasing down your dreams, desires, or wants. If you want help with this, if this is something that you think you could use a mentor or a coach, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I am someone who has accomplished a lot, and I have failed at way more. I've got the life experience of probably a 150-year-old man. I know I have the gray hair for it. But most importantly, if you need someone to talk to or someone to help motivate you to take that first step, don't hesitate to reach out. Until tomorrow, thanks for watching. Have a great, great day. Cheers.